Hey guys, John, Koah Spearguns. Just thought you guys would enjoy this video, seeing as it falls in line with what we do. I mean, obviously we build spear guns, but we have the machinery and the know-how to build really awesome signs. And as most of you know, we just moved into our new warehouse, so I thought it'd be a cool video to show you how we're going to make the sign, and what better to make it out of than teak. I mean, that's mainly, predominantly what we work with. So we get our teak sheets. It's like in the wintertime, you'll see us put sails up for custom cutting boards and mahi trays, tuna trays, stuff like that. Well, those all come from these teak tray or teak sheets that we have made for us. They're 3 by 4 feet, and one of our lumber suppliers is kind enough to make them for us. And we just buy stacks of them, and that's how we do a lot of the 2D stuff. You see a lot of the flat stuff you see, we can do it out of this. So what better to make it out of than this? They come in, like I said, 3 by 4 feet, and we're gonna brace 2 of them together, and that's gonna make an 8-foot long blank for me to make it out of, 8 by 3 feet long. And we have a 5 by 10 and a 4 by 8 CNC, so I can make it on either one of those. What we're gonna do is put the Koah logo right here, our trademark logo, on a 7-foot sign, on a 7-foot teak sign, which should look pretty awesome. I mean, this is uncoated, so once we coat it, the color will become deeper and it'll have quite a cool look to it. And so what we do is I'm going to etch, basically etch about a little over 1/8 of an inch deep, the whole Koah logo on there, and cut out a perimeter. And then we have to back pour anything that we etched with either black epoxy or whatever color I decide to do it in. And then you have to seal it, just like we would do our spear guns. But I'm not sure if we're gonna use a poly, or I might even do it in teak oil if I want it's something, or tung oil that I can do annually to keep it nice and fresh looking. But we do have some epoxies, we have some coatings. I might do it with one of our ceramic coatings that have high UV inhibitors to protect it from the sun, because I don't want to have to do this every year. So I want something that's going to last a good 5 to 10 years. But you'll see that we have to actually coat both sides of it, polyurethane, whatever we use. You have to seal it from every side. So we'll be sealing the end grain, front grain. You have to seal all of it, otherwise the weather will get to the open grain side, and it'll actually bow it in the opposite direction to the point where the sign would actually break or crack up, and it would just be completely useless. So it's a long process, but I thought you guys would enjoy seeing how you make such a cool looking sign and see the final result. So stay tuned. Now that the epoxy's hardened, and I have the braces in place, it's time to flip this thing over and start doing the programming and drop in the logo and have the machine go to work. Alright, now that I've set the proper depth and overlap on such a large etching like a sign, I don't have to go really big with or I have to go really small with the bit. I can stay with a larger bit. So you have to be really careful with the overlap, and then you tell the overlap how far you want it to cross over. So say a 1/4 inch bit, you're telling it 0.25, I'm telling it to cross over 0.10 just to keep it tight so there's no overlapping. It's a nice clean edge. Now when I start etching spear guns, which you'll see in the next video, etching spear guns, they're very small, and they require a very tight bit, like a etching bit, which is basically comes down to a fine point, or something that's like a 1/16 of an inch, which is 0.062. So that's a very small bit, but for something this large, these signs are easy. So I mean, in terms of what we do, they're much easier because I can throw any bit at it that I want for the most part, and it's a lot easier and cleaner. So this is what the final product's probably gonna look like. So I'm gonna set the machine up, put this thing on time lapse, and let it go to work. All right, it's the next day. This epoxy's had a good 12, 18 hours to cure, somewhere in that area. As you can see, it is hard as a rock. So what I'm gonna do now is shave off like a 1/16 of an inch or so, maybe a little bit more, just to take off that top layer. And it's pretty cool because you're gonna see the logo really, the sharper logo become exposed. And then we'll cut the perimeter, get the final shape of it, and then move on to getting it sealed and coated. Now that I got my multiple base coats on the actual sign now, just got to decide, do I want to go high gloss, or I was thinking of going matte with this, but the high gloss does seem to bring out a lot more color and definition and depth to it. So I don't know, I'm gonna sand it and prep it for final coat, but we'll see. I might spray it. I don't know. I might do that, or I might do matte finish. Spray, the problem is with something flat and this big, with the type of the custom top coat that we use, it's tricky to get the right mills down and to not have it have issues like solvent pop and stuff like that. It can get really tricky, but the matte finish also looks really good too. It looks more rustic. So we'll see. I'm gonna do one of the two of them. DIY video on how to make a 3-foot by 8-foot sign on a teak. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now we just did the second coat, or I just did the second coat of ceramic matte. I like the look of this. It gives it a more, to me, rustic and natural look. And we see a lot of shiny stuff every day, so this is a nice change. We do love our high gloss finish, but this to me has a little more definition with the wood. And just like our high gloss, it'll last for years and years. It can be indoors, outdoors. With the high UV inhibitors, it can take just about anything. But if you did enjoy the process, please like and subscribe. The more people we have watching these videos, the more of these videos we can make. So I hope you do enjoy it. Obviously, spear guns are our specialty, and same with pole spears and everything else. But in the end, we do just like making cool stuff. And I wish I had more time to make cool stuff like this. We do in the fall and the spring, but in the summer we are, purely 150% just building spear guns and building all the gear to keep you guys stocked. So I'm gonna go find a place to hang this thing, and until the next video, I hope you guys are getting out there. Thanks.